Have you ever watched someone succeed at something you once abandoned and felt something shift inside you, not envy, but the quiet, painful realization that you were once on that same path? That could have been me. I was there. I just did not stay. I gave up too quickly. This is Susan's story. 3 years, 4 skills, 0 mastery. She was not the problem. She just never stayed long enough for the harvest. In a city where everyone was building something, selling something, or filming something, there lived a young woman named Susan. 29 years old, ambitious, full of ideas. With a laptop, a dream and a habit of starting but never finishing. Starting was never Susan's problem. Finishing was. It started with graphic design. One evening Susan was scrolling through her phone when she came across a post. A young woman not much older than her sitting in a beautiful workspace. Laptop open. Clients from 3 different countries on her calendar. The caption read, "I work from anywhere. I set my own rates. I chose this life." Susan stared at that post for a long time. That same night, she signed up for a graphic design course. Fresh notebooks, high energy. For 3 weeks, Susan was unstoppable. Then the results did not come fast enough. The designs looked nothing like what she had in her head. The learning curve was steeper than the post suggested. Around week 4, Susan slowly closed her laptop, told herself it was not for her. 6 months later, it was social media management. People were managing accounts from their phones, flexible hours, good pay. She took a course, got 2 small clients, started feeling the momentum, and after a while the momentum faded and she gave up. Then she discovered video editing. Editors were earning more. The skill seemed more valuable. She told herself this is the real thing. Video editing lasted 5 months. She actually got good enough to start getting noticed. A few people reached out. Small opportunities began appearing. But then she came across a post about data analytics. High-paying, corporate, future-proof. Someone had gone from 0 to landing a 6-figure role in 8 months. Susan looked at her small video editing opportunities and looked at that post, and the familiar voice came back. Maybe this is the real thing. She enrolled in the data analytics course within 48 hours. And just like that, video editing joined graphic design and social media management in the graveyard of things Susan had almost built. 3 years, 4 skills, 0 mastery. She was not lazy. She was not unintelligent. She just kept arriving at the beginning of something new instead of staying long enough to reach the middle of something real. The worst part was not the quitting. The worst part was watching. Watching the designer she had studied beside, now fully booked with a waiting list. Watching the social media manager she had started with, now running her own agency. Watching the video editor she had admired, now editing for brands she recognized. She had started with all of them, but here is what Susan never saw. None of them had an easier journey. They had simply stayed while she had left, over and over again. It was a Tuesday evening. Susan was scrolling through her phone. She came across a post from a woman she had followed for 2 years. Ruth, calm, consistent, never flashy. Ruth ran a social media marketing agency that worked with brands across 4 countries, built quietly. No overnight success posts, no viral moments, just steady, consistent work week after week for 3 years. That evening, Ruth posted something that stopped Susan mid-scroll. The skill you keep abandoning is not the wrong skill. You are just leaving before it has time to work. Susan stared at the screen for a long time. Then she sent Ruth a message. 3 days later, Ruth replied. They got on a call. And while they were talking, Susan asked one important question. How did you build what you built? Ruth was quiet for a moment, then she said, I stopped asking which skill was most profitable. And I started asking which skill am I willing to show up for every single day, even when it is hard and slow, and nobody is watching yet. I protected 1 hour every day. I chose a time that works for me, and I guarded it before anything else could take it. And I showed up every day for 3 years. But what if it stops feeling exciting? Susan asked. Ruth's answer was direct. It will. That is not a sign to leave. That is the sign that everyone else is leaving. And the ones who stay are the ones who eventually stand out.
She paused. There is a proverb in the Bible I think about often. Do you see someone diligent in their work?
They shall stand before kings, and not before mere men. Kings are people who showed up long after the excitement left. Susan, that could be you, but only if you stay. Susan ended the call. She made a decision to go back to video editing, one of the courses she had abandoned. Not because it was the most profitable, not because it was trending, but because she knew it was the one she could stay with even when the excitement faded, even when progress felt slow. She picked a time that worked for her, 1 hour set aside every single day. No social media, no new courses, no comparing. Just video editing, every day, for 90 days.
The first 2 weeks were uncomfortable. The skill felt rusty.
There were days she produced almost nothing useful, but she stayed. Around week 3, something shifted. Her hands moved faster. Her eye for detail sharpened. By week 6, she posted a short edited clip online. Nothing special, just clean, honest work. A small brand reached out. Could you edit something for us? She said yes. By day 90, Susan had a small portfolio, 3 paying clients, and something she had not had in 3 years, evidence. Not that she was the best, but that she had stayed. She messaged Ruth, 90 days, I did not quit. Ruth replied with 2 words, now continue.
Here is what nobody tells you about consistency. The problem is never the skill.
Every skill Susan started was real. Every skill had real potential. The problem was the exit. She left every time the excitement faded, not realizing that excitement fading is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of the real one. Anyone can start with excitement. Very few people stay when the excitement is gone. And the ones who stay are the ones who build something the world eventually has to pay attention to. But here is what Susan never saw. She had been watching other people's chapter 10 and comparing it to her chapter 1.
The designer who was fully booked had bad designs for 18 months before anyone noticed her. The social media manager had clients who did not pay before she built something stable. The video editor worked for free for a year before clients started paying her. Susan never saw any of that. She only saw the result and mistook it for the starting point. But the deepest truth of all was this: consistency is not a personality type. It is a decision made daily. Susan was not suddenly more disciplined at day 90 than she was at day 1. She was just someone who decided today I will show up. And then tomorrow she decided again. 1 hour, 1 decision, 1 day at a time. Diligence builds what talent cannot.
Talent gets you noticed. Diligence keeps you relevant. Talent opens doors. Diligence keeps you in the room. And the person who shows up consistently even when it is slow, even when nobody is watching, even when something new is calling, that person eventually stands in rooms that once felt impossible. Susan's story is not unique. It might actually be yours. So let me ask you something.
What is the one thing you keep starting
and walking away from. What is the skill that still has your name on it? Here is what I want you to do. 3 steps, 90 days. Step 1, choose one thing, not the most profitable, not the most trending. The one thing you know you can stay with even when the momentum is low. Go back to it, that is your thing. Step 2, protect 1 hour. Choose a time that works for you. Guard it, let nothing take it. 1 hour every single day, dedicated completely to your future. Step 3, remove the exit. For 90 days, no new courses, no new skills, no new directions. One thing, 1 hour, 90 days. Show up even when it feels slow, especially when it feels slow. Drop a comment right now and type diligent. Tell me what you are going back to. The thing you abandoned, the thing that still has your name on it. Because the skill did not fail you. You just left before it had time to work. Go back, stay this time. 1 hour every day is enough to build something the world will eventually have to notice. If this story spoke to you, please give it a like. It helps more people find this message when they need it most. Subscribe to Hope Speaks for more stories like this. Share this with someone who keeps starting over. Someone who needs to hear that the answer is not a new beginning. It is a deeper commitment to the one they already have. Until next time, keep going, keep building. Your story is not over.